Hey everybody, today on Absolute Aquatics, we're going to be talking about how to pick the correct light for your aquarium. Alright, so there's going to be kind of three categories we talk about today. Category number one is lights that are good for looking at your fish. Category number two, lights that are good for growing plants. And category number three, which is a light that can do both very well. Alright, so we're going to talk about category number one first. That's the lights that are good for looking at your fish. So typically this is the cheapest option. You can go expensive, don't get me wrong, but just to look at your fish, I say go with a fluorescent light or something cheap off of Amazon or eBay. You don't need to spend a ton of money for a tank that just has some goldfish or even some African cichlids, because just in some light, if the fish look good, the light will show the fish looking good. In my personal opinion, you can get a cheap shop light and then just buy bulbs that are a certain brightness. Typically, if you have like a bunch of blue fish, go with something that is very bright. If you have red fish, you don't need to go quite as bright because the red will kind of pop more at a lower Kelvin rating, which is kind of the color that the light is. And so that's my personal opinion. So for category number one, I suggest fluorescent bulbs or cheap LED lights. Alright, so now we're going to talk about category number two, which is growing plants, and that's all that you're worried about, is growing the plants. My number one suggestion is my LED DIY lights that are for growing plants. I will put a card in the top right corner of your screen right now so you can watch the video on how I make those. These lights, I mean, you can see the fish and the shrimp in this tank well, but they don't look as good as they could because this light is just as bright as I can get it, and it is shining straight down so hard onto the plants, and so it's not the best for looking at the fish compared to what we're going to talk about in category 3. This would work okay in category 1, but they are a little more expensive than just throwing up a shop light for 10 bucks, you know. I think even cheaper sometimes. I found them on Amazon for $6.50 before for those fluorescent lights, so that's a little bit more on category 1. But these lights, I have 5 of them running on this 6-foot long, 2-foot deep, 155-gallon aquarium. Just 5 of them. It's a bow front, so there are 3 in the back, and there's 4 in the front. So I lied. There is 7 of them. And this tank grows plants like crazy. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing crazy hard to grow in this aquarium, but I mean, I've got the stem plants, of course, and the Anubias and the dwarf sedge, but I've also got crypts. I've got some mosses. I've got, I mean, there's some plants in here that need a little bit more light, that are 2 feet deep. Don't forget that this is 2 feet deep. See, this dwarf sedge, it's growing tall a little bit, and there is some that's growing really tall, but that's some that I have literally not cut for the last 6 months. So this light is good for growing plants, but it is good at growing algae too. That's another little drawback. But another option, and this is the cheapest option actually in this list, is sunlight. Set your aquarium up right in front of a window where it will get direct sunlight for an hour or 2 a day. That is the best way to grow plants. Yes, you'll get algae with these options, but this is just for the best plant growth. And so now we are going to work our way to category number 3. And category number 3 is lights that can grow plants and make your fish and shrimp look great. This is typically a more expensive light, and my number one choice for this is the Fluval 3.0. It is pretty darn expensive in my opinion. I don't even know what they cost anymore. I do have one out on my most recent Aquascape tank. You can look back at my videos to find that. I might put a card in the top right. We'll see. But that is that is kind of the best that I can get in the US, easily to find. I know that I've seen other videos where there's things like Twin Star or Kessel lights. Those are both very high-end lights, and I'm sure that there's plenty of others out there, but that's my personal choice, is the Flue Ball 3.0. And so that's the plant light, that's a fish light, and you know what, they're really cool lights because you can adjust them on your phone. You can do the automatic timer and stuff, you can do the brightnesses of certain color tones, and you can just customize it really good. Like, using a phone for this, so I can't really adjust that lighting issue that just happened, but whatever, it's not about what you see of me right now. So that's my take so far on how to pick your light. Hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have any more questions that I might be able to answer, comment. I'm fairly quick at answering comments that are questions. And I also, in the comment section, want to hear below, what is your favorite YouTuber, fish related, that is under 5,000 subscribers? And I want to know your guys' favorite fish. So definitely leave that in the comment section below as well. Please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.